Hello, welcome to Akulmach Business Channel. My name is Kanchan, and today in this episode, we are discussing a very thought-provoking topic, which is neuroergonomics. And to discuss this topic, we have senior industry leader, Mr. Sitesh Shrivastava. So let's welcome him and find out what he has to say about this emerging science. Sitesh, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Can't complain, Kanchan. This is a beautiful Saturday morning in Bangalore. How are you?
I am fine, Sitesh, and today we are discussing a very interesting topic, and the topic is neuroergonomics. I guess I have pronounced correctly. So actually, before we start on this topic, I would like to know what actually this whole concept is, because I have heard this is an emerging science which is coming up into corporate sector. So for our listeners, would you like to really explain this?
Yes, Kanchan. There is a shlok in Sanskrit which says that Bubhukshitam na pratibhati kinchita, which means भूखे भजन न होए गोपाला. So भूखे मनुष्य की अकल जरा सी भी काम नहीं करती. But this was probably several decades ago when internet was not in our life and Google was still in its previous birth in whichever form. But when we live in today's information overload of world, we are surrounded by notifications. Email notifications, SMS notifications. If you open up your phone, at least 50 notifications on your phone, 50 on your emails, 50 from your different devices, and then multiply with the number of people in the home. So what happens actually is that the ergonomics, जिसको हिंदी में श्रम दक्षता शास्त्र कहते हैं, उसकी वाट लग जाती है मुंबई की भाषा में कहें, और उसकी जब वाट लगती है, it actually affects our brain. How much to take the task and how to deal with the task. A task finishes, another task is there lined up, and there is some pop-up, and then there is nowadays a smart watch is there, so it pops up here as well. So what is happening is that there is a lot of cognitive burden on our lives. And this is the subject that I want to discuss, the cognitive burden that neuroergonomics, जिसको कि स्नायु श्रम दक्षता शास्त्र भी कह सकते हैं, because it comes from neurology, which is स्नायु विज्ञान. So I think cognitive burden, everybody is trying to do away with, finish it, but they are not able to actually get over it. So what are some of the techniques that people can use to do away with the cognitive burden?
Well, this is quite interesting and upcoming science, and I think this is what is requirement of the day also, because we are already not only in personal sector, but I think on a personal front, in your family also, you really require these kind of segregation of work, and I think you have to become your own gatekeeper, what to take it and what not to. So that is a very, very interesting subject. But I would also want to know that how the two combination, the mental function and the work which is in our hand, to be streamlined to get the better results.
Kanchan, one thing that cannot be backed up is our brain. We cannot do a backup of our brain. It comes, it goes, and it is a continuous flow of thoughts or the dreams or the statements or the vision, observations. Everything is continuous to this brain. But when we stop by and look at the notifications, the tasks, can I deal with it? That is a problem that we are facing. So there are certain things, certain behavioral, certain aspirational, certain lifestyle changes that we need to bring in to avoid this challenge. And I'm focusing on this burden because we all are surrounded by to-do list. It starts with a simple to-do list. And believe me, since this morning being a Saturday, the doorbell at the house and the schedule of the whole all family members, plus my own aspirations, my in Friday evening what I wanted to do this weekend, plus what my friends want to do, this all is becoming too much of an overload, Kanchan. And therefore this talk, uh, we need to talk about how do we cut off from the information overload.
Fine. This is a quite interesting, I think, way of doing things, and many corporate, as I mentioned, they are working on it. But most of the people, they have the habit of really doing the work to do. They are happy with the to-do list, and they want to be in that frame of mind, and that, as you told us, that there is a neuro implication on human beings. But the question is how we can really help us as a human race. Do we need technology to do this for us?
Kanchan, yes, technology is something which can definitely help us in this. And there is a research in neuroergonomics, as you said, it's a emerging science, and it is broken down into traditional neuroimaging, wearable neuroimaging, mobile neuroimaging, ultra mobile neuroimaging, future neuroimaging, which is continuous and ubiquitous in daily life. But the challenge that it throws up, the technology can only handle when we can define the challenges that human race is facing in this challenge, what is called the neuroergonomic cognitive burden. So what is happening with these so many of tasks and to-do lists in our life every minute? We are having abundance of decision making. We are having distractions, a lot of distractions. uh, it is very very hard to focus, and constant need to manage everything at that particular moment is causing lots of distress in individual life, the family life, the corporate life. And therefore I believe today the scientists, the writers, the authors, I think they are still able to produce some great work because they are away from this cognitive burden of to-do list, Kanchan.
Well, this is a quite a crucial subject, and I feel that beside managing the task which is in hand, but you should also maybe a little more precise, that you should give weightage to the work which is in your hand. That is one thing which can make life easier. And as you said, that everybody wants to do the work at the same point of time, and there's too much of work, they want to just complete it. So yes, you have to really give weightage to the work. But I think our age old techniques of meditation, I think that can also help, isn't it?
Yes, it does. Meditation is a great tool. It declutters our minds, and that is the best thing it does. Whether it takes us to an enlightenment journey or a spiritual path, I don't care. As long as it first declutters my mind. There are certain other techniques also before going to the meditation path, Kanchan. One is I remember something called time blocking. So we block that we will take certain calls only at this part of the day. Like a breakfast has to be done at 8 a.m. in the morning, so it has to be 8 a.m. Or if I have to get ready for office by 9, mentally I have to be ready 8:55. So that is time blocking. The another method, Kanchan, is interconnectedness. When we try to solve the problems of our daily life, whether it is work or personal, by being interconnected with people, by discussing in a group of people, I think we tend to deliver more than trying to achieve everything alone in single handedly. Then there are certain cognitive gadgets also, Kanchan, and these help us basically in constructive thinking. So something like social learning, episodic memory, creating a mental model. So if I have to sit in front of a stock exchange platform, I cannot keep on thinking about entertainment at that point in time. So creating those kind of mental models is very, very important. And what technology can do, it basically tightens the loose ends. Not that we need technology to put some gear on my head to start reading my brain, though, some companies are trying to do a wearable glass kind of a device. But there are softwares, there are certain technology which can basically help us do the loose ends. And basically, another very important part, Kanchan, is the repetitive benefits. Okay, so that's, if we know that this particular, I have a lunch time at 1 o'clock, my mind should basically prompt me to get up at 1 for my lunch.
Yes, definitely, and I think the kind of points you have just counted, they are very beneficial, because at the end of the day, this will enhance the work, the productivity, and the social well-being, and of course the physical well-being of men. So I think if we are talking about this kind of science, that is neuroergonomics, so that means we should take it quite seriously, and we should count on the benefit of this science, not only for in companies or in corporates, but I think as you mentioned, that if you have to take a breakfast at 8 a.m., that means it should be time bound. So that is a good beginning or good start to really follow that whole process, and that will lead to a better understanding of the life, better understanding of the work which is in hand. That is fine. So in the end, I just want to know that how we can really inculcate this into our day-to-day life.
So, Kanchan, something is create possibilities for better management of work. Now, if you look at a lot of self-help books, you throw a stone and you get millions of them. They all talk about better management of work. I am trying to push how to create a possibility for better management of work. That means if I have to work from home, I have to create an office-like corner in my home where it absolutely looks like an office rather than a home setup. If I want to achieve that kind of productivity that I achieve in office. So it is not just about a method, it is about creating a possibility for that method. So even if we, like you said, meditation, one has to first prepare the mind and the body for the meditation. You ask anyone to just close eyes for 2 minutes, people get irritated, anxiety fills their life. Now asking somebody to sit in meditation for 10 minutes, 15 minutes may look like a lifetime, Kanchan. So I think the challenge is to understand and identify the cognitive burden that we all have, then try to start using the time blocking or cognitive gadgets or working in a group, trying to get advice. Today, you see, Kanchan, people don't really ask for advice because Google is there. And if you go and give somebody advice, the usual suspect comes back. This is my personal matter. I know much better than you. And I have my communities. I don't need your advice. So the age old hand holding, talking, counseling, trying to understand, sometimes just quiet and listen and observe the other person, it is all adding up to our brain overworking. And at the end, Kanchan, I can only remember this very popular share which I heard in my probably college days. The mind has to be happy. The brain has to be relaxed to achieve the greater potential of the human existence. And that's what makes us different from the other species on this planet. So this share goes like, सैर कर दुनिया की गाफिल जिंदगानी फिर कहाँ, सैर कर दुनिया की गाफिल जिंदगानी फिर कहाँ, जिंदगानी गर रही तो नौजवानी फिर कहाँ.
Well, it is a quite interesting topic which we discussed, and I look forward from our audience for the comments, and I would like to know how and what they think about this emerging science, and this is something which is interesting. We can work, or maybe we can discuss this in further episodes also, because this will lead to a betterment of whole scenario when we're talking about the family, when we are talking. And you have mentioned very nice topic, or when you mentioned that this enhancement comes with the interrelationships or maybe a teamwork. So that is the aspect of doing a great job. So Siddesh, it was so wonderful to discuss this emerging topic today, and I hope this will benefit to all the listeners and they start working on these parameters which we have discussed today. So I'll be meeting again, Siddesh, in the next episode with again thought-provoking topic. Till then, bye-bye, and any last comments from you?
Sure, Kanchan. You know what? I met a very senior doctor recently, a very, very old doctor. And when I spoke to him, I realized that the doctors of the old days, they used to talk to the patients more, look at the reports less. But what the data has done today, that they look at the reports more and talk to the patients less. And therefore, the doctors are not able to, give the real advice to the patients. So that is something, again, it's a cognitive load on a doctor's brain. With this, let's try this in our lives, Kanchan.
Sure, and as usual, it was so wonderful to be in this discussion today. So bye-bye till we meet next time on next Saturday. We had a quite interesting discussion with Mr. Siddesh Srivastava today, and I look forward for your comments and any information you want to add with whatever discussion we had today. So we'll be meeting again with the next thought-provoking topic. Till then, bye-bye, and you take care.